Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. We got Big Will in the house. I say Big Will in the house. Watch your mouth. We got the one and only Sports Dog in the building. What's going on, bruh? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If y'all can, post some of the links, like the join the membership link. If y'all can, I appreciate it. Let's get going. Let's talk about some weather. Hold on for real quick, guys. Something else that I wanted to talk about far as some sleepers, and I have to get my paper. Let me see. Okay, we got it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see. Let me get the lighting right up in here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, it's championship time. Cutting edge content time. No tomatoes. We got to be direct. We have to make tough decisions today. Yes, sir. Zach Seaman in the building. What's up, bruh? What's up? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And guys, like I said, y'all know the protocol. If you want to skip the line and get your questions answered immediately, you super chat. Other than that, guys, I'm going to go through the weather. I'm going to go through some news. And then I'm going to get to everybody's question. And then I'm going to go from members first, kind of in the same, if you're in the same screen. I'm going to get to the members first, and then I get to everybody else. I appreciate everybody being here. I am so thankful for having a YouTube channel and having really loyal subscribers. The world is like a magnet. Whatever you are, you will attract. I am very loyal to a fault, and I think I have one of the most loyal fan base. I don't care if it's not 30,000. I don't need 30,000. I would take 2,000 loyal subscribers and do it for the rest of my life. And that's no cap. Let's go. Okay. So let's talk about a couple games today. Okay, here's the tough game. And I'm disappointed in it, but I'm going to let God work. I'm going to let him cook. God needs to cook. So today, with the Cleveland Browns are at home. The San Francisco Cleveland Browns game, I thought Shadur would go out here and have a chance to be a top 5 quarterback, but it's not going to happen. And one of the main reasons it probably won't happen is this 20 miles per hour wind in Cleveland, and they are on the lake. So you know what that wind is when you're close to the water, what that does to the wind. So it's going to be likely snow. They saying this could be like a snowstorm, a little mini snowstorm in that arena. So don't start any kickers in that game. Don't start any quarterbacks. The only position that I feel good about starting in the Cleveland and San Francisco game, which Cleveland is at home, are the tight ends, Hurl Fannin and George Kittle. And the running backs, CMC and Quinshon Judkins. Quinshon Judkins have moved up a couple spots today because he's going to get 20 touches. He's going to get 20 touches. CMC, we know what he's going to do. He's going to catch passes and get 20 to 25 touches. This is going to be a running back tight end game, and whoever makes the biggest play in the passing game probably will win the game. Great defense today. Can you hear me? Can Thank you, Bike. You can hear me? Thank you. Thank you. Somebody got past the firewall. I got all my apps blocked. I got everything blocked, and somebody called me early this morning. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, so like I said, the only position that you can play is going to be the tight ends, George Kittle, Hurl Fannin, and the running backs, Quinshon Judkins and CMC. All right, we only going to go over the games that's got crazy weather. We got another game with some crazy weather. Not too much, but it's still, it's It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. It's going to be a 43% chance of slight rain and 9 miles per hour wind. It's not really a lot of guys that we're starting, but I am starting Brian Thomas Jr. I am starting him today. And I will start DK, and that's about it on the Tennessee Titans side. I'm not starting nobody else on the Tennessee Titans side outside of DK, which his name looks like Dyke. Pause YouTube. Do not flag me. I'm talking about a dude last name. All right. Another game that we can talk about is going to be the Atlanta Falcons and the New York Jets. The Jets are going to be at home, so we're looking at a 40% chance. Well, no, it ain't a 40%, but it's a 21% chance. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong number. A 21% chance of rain, 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and 8 miles per hour wind. So to me, I don't know if I want to start John Mechie. I don't know. I think it's not that bad, but I don't know. It's raining. Raining is bad for wide receivers. Raining is bad for wide receivers. Let's see here. I'm not starting Darnell Mooney. I'm not starting Kyle Pitts. I think the only person that I'm starting on the Atlanta Falcons is probably going to be B. John Robinson. That's probably the only guy that I'm going to start in this game. Let's go through. We got another game, and this is in my backyard. It's the Carolina Panthers. So it's the Los Angeles Rams playing against the Carolina Panthers. Los Angeles Rams, be careful. This could be a trap game. The Carolina Panthers can beat any team in the NFL on any given Sunday. They just have to establish the line of scrimmage with their they got great guards and a good center, so they can usually whoop you up front. So Rico Dowdle probably is going to get going today. I am starting Rico Dowdle against the Rams. I expect him to get 20 touches today. Not saying he's going to be a top 5 guy, but I expect him to get 20 touches today. But it's going to be 5 miles per hour wind and a 47 degrees and a 20% chance of rain. So that hurts the receivers. Am I sitting Ted? Probably not. Just depends on what I got on my bench. And that's Tech McMillan. We got another game that's outside. It's going to be the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a 15 miles per hour wind. I'm not starting any kickers in that game. Excuse me. And it's going to be cold. That doesn't hurt Josh Allen, though. You know how Josh Allen is. It doesn't hurt Josh Allen. So Josh Allen, I still would start him in the snow. He's got big hands, paws. That's why they drafted him. That's why they drafted Jim Kelly. When you draft a quarterback in Buffalo, they have to be 6'6", 6'5", big hands, a big dude, paws. Because you are going to play in bad weather. In bad weather games, you need to have big hands. You don't have to be using gloves. You have to be able to prevail through bad weather. Long story short. Okay. So that game again is going to be 34 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 miles per hour wind. No rain. That's good, right? That's why I'm saying start your guys in the Buffalo game and the Pittsburgh game. It's no rain. But when you see rain, it brings the receivers down a little bit in that game. It brings those positions down. Not the running backs per se, but the wide receivers. And let's talk a little bit about Monday night game. Monday night game is going to be a snow game. 27 degrees Fahrenheit, 35% chance of snow, but there's no wind. But it's going to be snow, so no rain. Hopefully, if it's just snow, that's pretty good. So start your New England Patriots. Start your Drake May. Start your Travion Hendersons. New York Giants. I'm not a big Wan'Dale guy. Not because of Wan'Dale. It's just I want to see how Jackson Dart is going to play without Brian Daboll. How he going to target Wan'Dale. Right? I need to see that. A lot of you believe in Wan'Dale, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Wan'Dale is a great PPR machine guy, underneath guy, who can hit you with a big, deep ball, a big play. So just be wary of that. Pay attention to that for Monday. All right. So we went through those games. Let's go on to some news and see who's active today. Let's see who's active today. This is cutting edge content. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. I see everybody in the building. I see y'all guys. I appreciate everybody showing up. Okay. Let's talk about Tyler Warren. Trending towards playing today. Yes, Tyler Warren is trending towards playing today. So if you got Tyler Warren in the coach game, you play him. Don't be nervous about it. I will go ahead and start him and let the chips fall where they fall. We got a super chat from the one and only MVM. He says Rico Judkins, Harvey, Vidal, Ladd, Ted, MHJ, Michael Wilson, Kittle, Bowers, Texans, Browns. Please pick 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex, 1 defense. Thanks, bud. Anytime, bruh. Anytime. So, let's go with the 2 running backs. Judkins. We're going to go with Judkins. Let's go with Judkins and Rico. Now, let me tell you where you can substitute in, because I'm always going to give you my take, and then I'm going to give you where you can where you got a little bit of a wiggle room. You can take Harvey or Vidal and put them over Rico. I wouldn't do it over Judkins because of the snow game. I think he's going to have, he played at Ohio State, right? He can have he can have a good game in the snow. I would like to say Vidal and Harvey, they got good matchups, but we know that Vidal, even though he's the only running back in the backfield right now, they could play this game and not even use him against the Las Vegas Raiders. And that makes me a little bit worried about him. But usually I'm going to play him, especially on a good matchup. The Las Vegas Raiders are not bad, but they can be had in the run game. We definitely know that. But I would stay with Judkins, and then I would try to decide between Rico, Harvey, and Vidal. Judkins number 1, and you're gonna have to pick. If you want to put Harvey or Vidal in because you think the matchup is really, really good, I'm not gonna say anything to you. I don't have any discretion for that. But I would say off the top of my head, Judkins and Rico for your running backs. All right, let's move on to the wide receivers. We need 2 wide receivers. Let's go with Ladd. Let's go with Ladd. And let's go with Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's go with Ladd and Marvin Harrison Jr. And then for your tight end, we're going to go with Bowers because of the snow game with San Francisco and Kittle. So we're going to go with Bowers over Kittle today because of the snow. And then for your flex, I would have told you to go with Kittle, but no, we're not going with Kittle because of the snow game. Kittle's going to be okay, but he doesn't have the upside anymore. So with that, in the flex, let's go with one of these running backs that we have. And I would probably say, let's go with Harvey as the flex. Now, if you wanted to switch it out for Vidal, that's fine. So basically, man, with that flex spot, you're going to be able to get 3 running backs in the game, and I would do that this week. I wouldn't play a wide receiver. I wouldn't put Ted in over Harvey or Vidal. That's just me. Ted is a good player. So let's go, let's put Harvey there. And then the defense, I will go with the Browns in the snow game. I will go with the Browns in the snow game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Jalen McMillan from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers appears to be set to practice in week 14. So if you got Jalen McMillan on a dynasty team, I probably just keep a look on him, let him, that he's going to be active probably week 14. I'm not telling you to put him in the lineup, but just pay attention. They got a lot of mouths over there to feed, so I'm not worried about Jalen McMillan probably for the rest of this season. Chris Olave will be playing today. Chris Olave is playing today. Here's something that we probably not happy for, but Alec Ayomana will be playing, so it's not just going to be Shamir DK. Alec Ayomana has out-targeted DK a couple times. So just want you to be wary of that. Bam Knight will be suiting up today. Marvin Harrison is playing today. And I wanted y'all to know that. Marvin Harrison is playing today. He is a top 24 wide receiver for me today. Even though he's been out for a couple weeks, the way Jacoby Brissett has been playing, I have to play Marvin Harrison Jr. But let me tell you something. Do not sleep on Michael Wilson. This is the NFL. When you play like he's played the last 2 weeks, he is a perennial top 2 player for his wide receiver on that team. And he will be getting a deal in the offseason. So don't sleep on Michael Wilson. Just bring him down from a wide receiver 1 to a wide receiver 3, high-end flex play. Baker Mayfield will be suiting up today. Bucky Irvin will be suiting up today for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chigo Okonkwo, the tight end from the Tennessee Titans, will be suited up today. Okay, guys, that's far as right now. That's all. I think that's all. This is what's important. All right, let's go back to the top. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. Big Will says, happy Sunday, bro. Yes, sir. Sports Dog says, TD, morning TD 100. Let's make it happen. TD, my guy, what's up? What's happening, man? Yes, sir. Zach Seaman says, start 2. Waddle, McConkey, or ETN. We're going with McConkey over ETN. But if you wanted to play ETN, I wouldn't be mad at you. Waddle is a good play. But with the matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders, I like McConkey a little bit over Waddle. Waddle has a good matchup too, man. Don't get it twisted. All these guys are really good starts. So I'm going to go with McConkey and Waddle. The reason why I'm going to go with McConkey and Waddle over ETN, Bashal Tutin makes me a little bit nervous, even though ETN has been playing solid for basically the whole season. Tutin, when he's healthy, gets a lot of snaps and can easily hurt ETN fantasy numbers. That's what I'm saying. So McConkey, I don't think QJ is going to kill McConkey. McConkey has been training as the best wide receiver on that team for the last 5 to 6 weeks. So we are okay with McConkey. Waddle with no Tyreek Hill. That team playing really good. A-Chan balling out of his mind. Also, Mike McDaniels, let's give him a hand clap. This is a dude that we all said he's disgusting. He's sorry. He's doo-doo. He's donkey. And this dude is out here coaching the team to a playoff trajectory where they could easily get into the playoffs as a wild card team. So let's put some respect on the Dolphins' name. So I'm going to go with McConkey and Waddle over ETN. Senor Roja says he said what he said. Let's go. Yes, sir, Senor Roja. Let's see here. Stacy, she says, happy Sunday. One more time, full PPR. Need a wide receiver and a flex for a must-win week. Okay, she says she need a wide receiver and a flex. Wandale, Keenan Allen, Vidal, Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, and Olave. So the wide receiver is we're going to go down with Marvin Harrison Jr. over Wandale and Keenan Allen and Michael Wilson. We're going to go with Harrison. He's playing. We got to make a tough decision. This is a win to get in or win or go home type decision. So we're going with Marvin Harrison. We're going down with his ship today with the way Jacoby Brissett has been playing. And for the flex, you know what here? Okay, we're going to go with Vidal, but it's close between Vidal and Michael Wilson. So if you wanted to squeeze Stacy to make sure that you get an elite wide receiver off the Arizona Cardinals, 2 guys can eat, 2 things could be true at the same time. Harrison and Michael Wilson, I can see both of these guys being in the top 32. I can see that the way that Jacoby Brissett distributed the ball, I can see both guys in the top 2. So you could go with Marvin Harrison and Michael Wilson, but you don't have to. The other option is Marvin Harrison or Vidal. Wandale, again, I like Wandale. I just need to see it one time with the new Jackson Dart with a new offensive coordinator. Keenan Allen, a lot of mouths to feed. Who knows what he's going to do today? We don't know because there's a lot of mouths to feed over there. So I'm going to say you're going to have to make a decision between Vidal, Marvin Harrison, and Michael Wilson. If you don't want you don't want 2 guys from the same team, then go get Vidal. Appreciate you, Stacy. Martin Castillo says, need 3, bruh. Diggs, Harvey, Gaineswell, Vidal, Neal, Dowdle, or McMillan. Thank you, bruh. So you need 3. We're going to go with Vidal. We're going to go with Harvey. And we're going to go with Dowdle. We're going to go with Dowdle, Vidal, and Harvey. The guy that you can substitute in, you could take Diggs and put him in over whoever you wanted to. So, like I said, we're going with Dowdle, Vidal, and Harvey. You can put Diggs in over Vidal. You can put Diggs in over Dowdle. Whatever you want to do, Brett, it's up to you. But those are the best three guys, in my opinion. Yes, those are the best guys. So I'm going with Harvey, Vidal, and Dowdle. Neil, I don't know. That's an unknown. So we need to watch it a little bit to see how Taysom Hill is going to affect them. Nobody really knows. We don't want to miss it because this is an important week. So I'm going to go with Harvey, Vidal, and Dowdle. Those are my guys. You can put Neil or Diggs in and rotate them in either one of those guys. I don't think it's crazy. Aaron Holloway says, good morning, TD. Yes, sir. He says, Bucky or Vidal. We're going with Vidal over Bucky because of the shoulder injury, and that's an important injury when it comes to a running back. So we actually can make a decision on that. Aaron Holloway says, Baker or Dart. I'm gonna go with Baker, and the reason why doesn't mean that Dart won't outplay him. I need to watch Dart without the offensive coordinator. If I'm splitting hairs, I probably could be making this bigger than what it should be. The offensive coordinator might not even matter for Jackson Dart, but to me, I'm going to consider it because the way he played with Brian Daboll when he's running the ball at the goal line, doing that's a top 3 quarterback. But if they stop doing that and he have to throw it in like he's a Bo Nix, or not Bo Nix, but throw it in like he's a passing quarterback, like he's Matthew Stafford, I think it could hurt his numbers. Not saying he's not as good as Matthew Stafford, which he's not right now, but I don't think he's a pocket quarterback right now because he doesn't have the snaps. He doesn't have the experience to throw from the pocket for me to trust it yet. Aaron Holloway says, should I use the combo of Wandale and Dart for tomorrow night? You can. You can. I don't see nothing wrong with it if you believe in Dart, Aaron. Martin Castillo said, what's up, bro? Appreciate you. He says Sutton, Gainwell, or Franklin. I'm going with Franklin over Sutton and Gainwell for the upside. Sports Star said TD100. The only thing I'm wondering about is Jackson. His gameplay over the last 2 games are scary. I can pick up Herbert or Burrow. Can I trust Burrow? He looked great, and his week 15-16 looks sweet. Yes, you can trust Burrow, and you need to have an insurance plan for Lamar. It's getting crunch time, so you got to make a decision. Me and my leagues, I'm riding with Lamar. I'm dancing with the girl that I came to the party with because he's so high end that I'm not going to try to pivot for it unless I see a Joe Burrow or somebody like that on my waivers. Then I might pivot. But usually you're not going to find nobody that gives you the upside to Lamar. Even with Lamar struggling, the way that game was, the big plays that he had, I still want that on my team. We all know that there's a lot of big plays can happen, and the fantasy points might not happen the same way. So I'm not going to go to nobody just to be safe for 14 points, and Lamar give me 14 points in a bad game. So I would still like the high upside of Lamar. Okay. Ryan says, good morning. What's up, Ryan? Appreciate you, bro. Ryan says, good morning. 49ers, Bucks, or Falcons defense? Let's go with the 49ers in the snow game. Let's go with the 49ers. Play the defenses in the snow game. Kale says, Brenton, Stranger, or Waller? Brenton Strange or Waller? I'm going with Waller over Brenton Strange because of what Waller can do. We saw what Waller was doing before he got injured. Bike Walker, what's up, bro? He said, hey, what's up, PPR, Judkins or Vidal? Let's go with Judkins over Vidal today. Because of the snow game, he should get a lot of opportunities. Yeah, if you don't like the snow game, I get that. You can go with Vidal. Hank Hill, what's up, bro? He says loud and clear, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kale says Strange or Waller. I'm going with Waller. C.A. Jefferson says win or go home. Christian Kirk or Troy Franklin? We're going with Troy Franklin. Kale says Rico or Bucky Irvin in the flex. We're going with Rico in the flex. C.A. Jefferson says Bucky or Knight. Man, I'm going to say Bucky because I don't want to go in the trash when I got a guy like Bucky that's active. Even if because Knight hasn't been running that well. So why would we why would we get off of a Bucky and go to Knight when he ain't even playing well and he don't have the draft pedigree that Bucky has? So, man, go down with the ship of Bucky when it comes to a Knight. He says Mariota or Daniel Jones. That's a good question, bro. This is cutting edge content. Are you ready? Because we ain't doing tomato today. We're not doing tomato today. I'm going with Mariota. I'm going with Mariota. KJ Frederick. He said, what up, fam? Better flex start. Michael Wilson, Vidal, or Brian Thomas Jr. I'm gonna go with Vidal with a close Brian Thomas Jr. Now listen, Michael Wilson is going to be solid, but he's a wide receiver 3 today. And shit, he could outplay Marvin Harrison Jr. Y'all know how fantasy goes. All we can do is use the data that we have. So I'm going with Vidal slightly over Brian Thomas Jr. and over Michael Wilson. Eduardo, he said, what's up, TD? Sanders or Deroni? I'm going with Sanders before I go to Deroni. I ain't going to go that far. I might as well play Sanders if I'm going to play Deroni. That's how I feel. If you want to go down with a quarterback on his first start that was drafted late, that we don't know nothing about, you can do that. I can't do that. I can't let nobody drive my plane that I have never saw drive a plane before. That's why when it comes to flying a plane, they want you to have what? Over 100 flights, over 100 times when you in the air and you calling the shots before they trust you to go and start working for a company. Same thing with me. Deroni, I ain't seen it. So I'm gonna go down with Sanders. Mike Shemhart said, G, what's up? What's up, bruh? Clink said, should I start Brissett or Sanders this week? I would start Brissett over Sanders this week because of the weather. Mike says, G, you like Olave or Pearsall? I will go with Olave over Pearsall because of the weather. I will go with Olave over Pearsall. What's up, Sean? What's up, bruh? Jay Moore says Tyler Warren must start even with stomach virus. Yeah, unless you got Juwan Johnson to go to. Or Hurl Fannin. If you ain't got nobody like that, you might as well go down with Tyler Warren if he's going to play. Sometimes people play better sit because your focus is a little bit more. So I would go with Warren unless I got a really good backup tight end to put in. C.A. Jefferson says, stuck on these 3 decisions, Christian Kirk or Troy Franklin. I'm going with Troy Franklin. Bucky or Knight, I'm going with Bucky over Knight. Mariota or Daniel Jones, I'm going with Mariota. Yes, so Harrison Jr. is playing Clink. Yankee says Ibuka, Judkins, or Dowdle for the flex in half-point PPR. I'm going with Judkins over Dowdle and Ibuka. In half-point PPR. I'm going with Judkins over Ibuka and Dowdle. Yankee says Ibuka, Michael Wilson for flex. I'm going to go with Ibuka slightly over Michael Wilson. I'm going with Ibuka slightly over Michael Wilson. Sorry about that, Elisa. Just now seeing it. She says, good morning, TD Standard. Bucky or Ibuka have Puka playing? Yes, I'm going with Ibuka over Bucky. We're going with Ibuka over Bucky today. Thank you, Elisa. Appreciate the super chat. Clink says, Mechie, Dortch, Leggett this week. I'm gonna go with Mechie slightly over Leggett. I can't get to Dortch because there's too many mouths to feed with Michael Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr. being there. Dortch is still going to be okay, but I would rather probably play Mechie before I get to Dortch or Leggett. Leggett is a good player, but I can't. I mean, if Bryce Young doesn't play well, nobody else is going to play well. Gamer says Jalen Warren or Wan'Dale Robinson. Let's go with Wan'Dale Robinson. I don't want to go to a split back and try to play musical chairs and figure out who's going to score and hopefully they score. We're not going to do that. I like Jalen Warren. We know he can score. They can put him into the goal line and he running in and get the touchdown. Is that I'm trying to use that to show like how simple the shit can be, even though he ain't did nothing all game and he come in and score a touchdown, then he's fantasy relevant. Wan'Dale is going to be getting 7 to 8 targets. He should. I don't know how good it's going to be. I like to play a little more consistent running backs over Wan'Dale this week. But I'm going to go with Wan'Dale when it comes to Jalen Warren because of Kenneth Gainwell. And Kenneth Gainwell have looked really, really good the last couple of weeks. So that hurts Jalen Warren if you ask me. Gamer Destroyer 47 says 4 PPR. Make sure I ain't skip nobody comments. C.A. Jefferson says, appreciate the help this season, TD. Cutting edge content. Yes, sir, C.A. Jefferson. Ed Tate says, how are we today? Yes, sir. Bucky or Marks need one. Let's go with Woody Marks over Bucky. Let's go with Woody Marks over Bucky. Unconditional. What's up, bro? He says, what up, fam? In a bond, Jacoby Myers, Aaron Jones, or Darren Waller. Let's go with Darren Waller over Aaron Jones and Jacoby Myers. Let's go with Darren Waller over those guys. John, what's up, John? John says, what will be the best game to watch today? The 49ers and the Cleveland Browns. Now, is it going to be a high-scoring game? No, but I want to see Shadur. I think he's one of the most exciting players in the league to see what's going to happen. Biggin says, how do you feel about Mechie of the Jets? It depends on what I got. I like Mechie. The weather is a little bit bad there today in New York, but I still like Mechie to get probably the most targets. A.D. Mitchell always can have a big game. I know a lot of you don't think A.D. Mitchell is the guy. He may not be, but guess what? It's more than one person on that team. So you got to know how things flow. Jamar Chase don't score all the time. Sometimes Josevich score. Sometimes Mike Gesicki scores, right? So I just want y'all to know that A.D. Mitchell is a guy that can score at any time. So, but I do like Mechie. It just depends on who I'm trying to put him in over or who else I got to contend with him. John says, have PPR, Rico, Votto, Judkins, or K9. I'm going to rank them for you. And you can that'll help you make your decision. I'm going with Judkins, Rico, Vidal, K9. And you say, why you put K9 last? Because he got Charbonnet. I know K9 looks good sometimes, but Charbonnet's still going to get carries. He's still going to get goal line carries. So I'm going to go with Judkins. Now, if you don't want to play a guy in the snow game, you don't have to. But to me, when I see a snow game, I see when we get down to the red zone, we trying to run it in. We trying to run the ball much as we can, as much as possible. So that's why I'm going with Judkins. I don't think it's going to be 100 points scored in the game, but I do think that Judkins is going to get majority of the touches in the game because of the weather. So that's why I'm going with Judkins over a guy like Vidal, who has a great matchup, but he's very volatile. He might have a great matchup, and they may throw it 40 times. Rico is really good, but the Rams defense is elite too. If Bryce Young don't play good, Rico ain't gonna play good. But Rico usually plays good when Bryce is doing okay. I think this week, after what happened last week, they get the ball to Rico in the green zone, make sure that he get his touches. Because they went wrong early and it cost them the game. The game flow messed up for the rest of the game when they started wanting to throw the ball too much with Bryce. Like I said, in K9 he just in a split backfield. So I like Judkins, Rico, Vidal, K9. BT Tiger says 4 PPR Judkins or Walker. I'm going with Judkins over Walker. SD says Wandale. I guess he's talking about, I don't know if he's probably just helping somebody out in the chat. Elisa says TD standard. Bucky, Rico, Henderson, pick 2, please. I'm going with Henderson over Rico and Bucky. And then the second guy would be Rico. So I'm going with Rico and Henderson. Jay Moore says Rico or Bucky for PPR. I'm going with Rico because he's going to get more touches than Bucky. He's going to get more touches. Bucky might get 7 carries. When they brought back Godwin got 25 snaps. I won't be surprised if Bucky get less snaps than that. Jay Moore says, how about Chase Brown since week 7? Yes. A lot of people thought he was a bust. He was on my 70% hit rate. He's on that 70% hit rate now. He's on that trajectory. Big and the Great says, appreciate it, brother. Anytime. Anytime. Sports Dog says, TD 100. I'm using Cam Little as my kicker. I know you said the win could be a factor. Do you leave it to be a look for an indoor kicker? Yes. In those, because it's crazy. I don't know which one you talking about. Is this the Jets? Who's Little? Is this the Jets Atlanta game or the Cleveland San Francisco game? Both of those games are nasty. The other games, it's not really that big of a deal. But if it's raining, you just got to be careful. STP, sorry if I'm reading your name wrong. But says Debo Gaddison or Sean Tucker for the flex. I have Brian Thomas Jr. for wide receiver. I'm going with Debo over Gaddison and Sean Tucker. We're going with Debo over Gaddison and Sean Tucker. Big and the Great says we're split between Warren and Mechie. Yeah, I would probably... Man, I'm not gonna use tomato today because this is an important decision. Let's go with Warren over Mechie, man. And when you playing Warren, this is what you should be looking for. And I'm gonna start telling y'all when you play certain players what to look for. Because I don't want y'all I'll pick a player and then you looking for him to get an 80-yard run with 30 carries and he's the number 1 RB. We're not gonna do that shit here. So what I'm saying when I'm looking at Jaylen Warren, I'm looking for a goal line touchdown. If he could give you a goal line touchdown with about 30 carries, not 30 carries, with about 30 yards and a couple catches, he could be a top 32 running back, fringe top 24. So let's go with the running back over Mechie who has bad weather with him. That's why you say Warren. I don't want to use tomato, but it kind of is. It's kind of the decision making of what you're looking for. If you want somebody to go boom and you think he's going to be special, that's not Warren for you today. Because Kenneth Gainwell, they can come and split it. I don't see him and Gainwell both going for 20 points or 15 points. I see one maybe going 8, the other one going 16, vice versa. So let's go with Warren over Mechie if you feel comfortable doing it with the weather. Big Will says, as a running back, how difficult is it to run and find holes, in the snow? I played street ball in the snow, but not an actual game. It's easy. Because running backs, we work on that. We work on not slipping, keeping our body under control, not leaning too much. That's what we do in practice every day. So as soon as your ass come out and you stretch, and then you go to individuals. That's individual drills. The quarterbacks go with the quarterback coach. The running backs go with the running back coach. The tight ends go with the tight ends coach. The offensive line go with the offensive line coach. And sometimes you even got it broke down even more. Sometimes the guards go with the guards coach and the tackles go with the tackle coaches. So we always bam. And so sometimes what's a drill? I'm gonna tell you a drill that running backs use, and it keeps us having great feet. You get about 15 to 20 yards away from your coach, and you run around some cones, and then you run at your coach, and then he wait till the last minute and he point. So he gonna wait till you get probably this close to his face, and then he gonna point, and you gotta break your feet down and go that way without slipping. If you slip, you got to go back and do the drill again. So that's why snow games are good for running backs, because they always in control and the defense don't know what you're gonna do. You going here, you going to the right, bam, bam, and then you go back to the right, he'll slip because he don't know where you're going. The defense is in a disadvantage in snow. The offense has advantage because we know where we're going. We're trying to set you up. So that's why I like Quinshawn. Big Will know how to get that expert advice out of me. Appreciate that question, brother. That's a cutting edge content question. Sage says, I'm 7-5 fighting for a playoff spot, and I think you're going to make it. 7-5 is right there where you want to be. I'm telling you guys, I love 7-5 teams because I want to be able to keep working the waiver wire. When you 10-3, you don't work the waiver wire because my team is set. I don't need nobody else. You want to always keep grind mode. Whoever grinds the most, keep grinding, making butter, grinding. Usually they come out as the better team because they gonna pick up the new latest. Like somebody's gonna break out today. It could be Mechie. And that person, like if you 10-3, you can't pick up Mechie. Where you gonna play him over? Jamar Chase? Like your team is so solid, but guess what? Mechie could be a league winner. So that's why I like being 7-5 if I can. Of course, I want to go undefeated and do all that. Don't get it twisted. But 7-5 teams are dangerous. I don't want to play those teams. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to play those teams. I just want my team. Hopefully, my team can be so dominant that I don't have to worry about some sleeper coming in and catching up with me. Ed Tate says, need Bucky or Jalen Warren. We're going with Jalen Warren over Bucky. We're not playing Bucky today unless you can get cute, because Bucky might not get that many snaps. Sage says, need to win last 2 games. Okay, Sage. We here for you. Whatever you need, Sage. Yuka Morning says, any thoughts on Brenton Strange? Targets comes his way. Yes, he's going to get targets. He's the closest guy to the quarterback. A quarterback best friend is a tight end. A quarterback's best friend is a tight end. Pause. Let's get the likes up, fellas. Subscribe to the channel. This is cutting edge content. You're not going to see this content every single place. This is what we do here on Fantasy Good Sports. Vertical, live, small, no background other than, I got Drake May in the back. I don't got all the bells and whistles, but I don't need to. This is the way I like doing the content over here. I think it makes it more personable. And I get through everybody comment. I don't think you're going to see that on any place. Nobody's going to treat you like a human. They mostly going to treat you like a robot and want you to green bean them and send them super chats. I love the super chats, and I will get to the super chats immediately, but I treat everybody fair. Somebody told me the other day, said, TD, you too real. I love that. I know I'm not perfect. And sometimes I can be too authentic. It's like, what did the Dave Chappelle show, when keeping it real goes wrong. And a lot of times that can happen. Yes, Brenton Strange's gonna get targets. He's gonna get targets. John says, great insight. Appreciate your content. Keep it up. Thank you, John. Anytime. Anytime. Let me see. I got another super chat somewhere. Okay. Mike Shamrock says, gee, you like Bo Nix or Brock Purdy, made, not snow. But listen, we're not worried about the snow, Mike. We worried about the water that's coming with it. They saying it could rain there too. That's what makes it disgusting. And when it turns into slush, like a slushy, you know how you drink a slushy as a kid, or you might drink a slushy now. That makes the ground real nasty. When it's snow and it's crunching, the ground is fine. It's just cold. It's just cold out there. You fall on the ground, you just make a snow angel. That's fine. But when that shit turn to slush, it can get disgusting. People, you get up, you got mud on your hands, you miss the ball, it gets tipped up in the air, interception, that type of stuff. That's what I'm worried about. If it was just snowing with no wind, man, I'm picking Shadur Sanders to go out there and ball out. But when it's raining with the snow in it, it gets nasty. That's what I mean. But I'm going with Bo Nix over Purdy. Bo Nix over Purdy. Yeah, okay. Let me go back up. Hennessy Black says, Tyler Warner has a shell station in his tummy. Right. Start Fanning instead of Hope, or hope he has a MJ flu game. I'm going to leave that up to you, Hennessy. I don't know no more than you know. Go with your intuition. I can't make that decision for you. And what I'm saying, listen, let me give you the insight what I'm trying to say. Me and you don't know how he feels. We know that people can play sick and ball out. You got to make that decision. Do you like playing guys that are sick even though they are studs? That's your decision. That's not my decision. Me personally, I'm playing Tyler Warren. The reason why, I cannot lose with my studs on the bench and they played. I'm not going to do that. That's why I'm going to be happy all the time. I'm never going to be saying, oh my God, I missed the playoffs. I didn't win the $1,000. I don't give a damn if I don't win it. But if I go and I sit Jamar Chase because they said that he been throwing up all morning, he might not play. And I'm like, no, I ain't playing that. He's sick. And I sit him and he go for 30 points. I would never forgive myself until the day I die. I said what I said. And I don't want to live that way. I don't want to live with no regrets. So me, I'm always, if my star, if he's healthy, I'm putting him in the game. Most of the time. Unless it's something like it's severe or I have a decision to make. Oh man, he's weak. He can't get up off the bed, out of the bed. They don't know if this. I might make a decision and say I'm good with that. So I'm not telling you that I'm always gonna play somebody even if they're sick, no matter what it is. It just depends. I don't know if a stomach bug is big enough for me to sit Tyler Warren. I don't know if it's big enough. So I probably would play him. If Fanning him, if that game wasn't nasty, I would tell you to play Fanning. But that game is a little nasty. Sports Dog said, TD, it's Tennessee. What you mean by Tennessee? What's going on, Sports Dog, with Tennessee? No matchup. Tacom against is no matchup. Tacom, no Mechie. Yeah, I like Mechie, but it just depends on who I'm trying to play in front of him or behind him. Like, it depends on what I got. If I got other options, I would go to another option. The game could be nasty for its weather. Ball Out says Superflex, DK, Tootin, or Spears. I had CD, Amara, St. Brown, Wilson, and Wandale. Okay. It's between DK and Tootin. So you're going to have to make this decision. This is what I'm looking at when I'm looking at both of these players. DK, you should be expecting a big special teams play or a deep ball play for a boom play to get you the points. He's probably not going to have no 8 targets or no 10 targets. So Tootin, you should expecting him to come and have a couple big runs when ETN comes out the game and he can get a goal line touch and he can get multiple goal line touches. He can start running better than ETN in the game and they go and give it to him as a hot hand. To me, that's better numbers for me to break down and get a common denominator out of than to go with DK. So I would say Tootin over DK. Spears, he ain't done shit all year. Not him. It's just Cam Ward cannot weather this offense like he should to keep everybody in it. So I'm going to go with Tootin over DK and Spears. MVM says, Chris Rodriguez, Charbonnet, Strange, Kincaid, please. I'm going with Chris Rod. I'm going with C-Rod. That's his new nickname. I'm going to call him C-Rod. I'm going with C-Rod over Charbonnet, Strange, and Kincaid. I'm going with C-Rod. Bob says, Neil, Sutton, Flex, PPR, Pitt, Strange, or Juwan. We're going with Juwan over Strange and Pitts. And we're going with Neil over Sutton. And let me tell you something. Let me break down Neil and Sutton because you might want to go with Sutton. Because sometimes, guys, I give biased opinions. I'm a human. I watch the game. I have emotional attachments and detachments. So I got to be fair. One thing about me, guys, what makes me special, and I said what I said, what makes me special, I can walk in people's shoes a little bit better than most people can. I'm not God, so I cannot walk completely in nobody's shoes. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what you're going through. But usually I can put myself in a certain situation and be very empathetic or sympathetic, whatever you want to say. So this is what I'm saying. As Sutton, I know Sutton is safe. He could go out there and get you 7 catches, 70 yards, maybe a TD. That's, to me, as a wide receiver, I don't like those wide receivers. Guys, I faded so many damn wide receivers, and I went to J-Mo and DK. People said I was crazy. Now, my team is probably the number 2 team in a certain particular league, and J-Mo is a better play than all those receivers above him. T. Higgins, I'm talking about a healthy T. Higgins. He's better than all those guys. I don't like no safe-ass wide receiver. That safeness is for people who want to finish second or third. People who go for broke is people who gonna win. I'm going for broke when it comes to certain wide receivers. So I really don't draft Sutton in no leagues unless his value falls to me in the 6th or 7th round. I don't want Sutton. He's too safe. He's a trap wide receiver. Just like you got trap backs, they only giving you 10, 12 points. They might give you a couple boom weeks, but they usually giving you 10, 12 points, and you want to know why you're losing. Because you never get a boom out of them. And you got players that's below him who's booming. He ends up being a better fantasy player for that year because they had a couple booms, a couple 40-point games, a couple 30-point games. So I'm gonna play Neal over Sutton because I think he has more upside to make a big play with no Alvin Kamara in the game. Even with Taysom Hill being there, I still would go with Neal. But that has nothing to do with Sutton saying he's gonna give you a safe floor today. So hopefully you can get how I broke that down. Hennessy Black says Jaylen Warren, 14 carries, 58 yards, and a touchdown. Maybe less carries, maybe 10 or 11. I can see that Hennessy Black. That's a great breakdown. I don't see 14. If they said he was going to get 14 carries, I might tell y'all like, yeah, he's a start. But I think it could be 3 or 4 less carries. I can see 10 or 12 carries. Which, do 2 carries really matter? No, but yeah. Right? I don't want to split hairs too much, but I like that stat line. That's what we're hoping for if Jaylen Warren plays. We need the TD. Ty Come again says better with Taylor tight end. Ty Come, ask me the question, man. I don't know. I'm kind of confused a little bit. So just put the question down in the chat and I get to it, bruh. But I'm kind of confused. And I apologize. It could be me. Guys, when I get going and I'm talking fantasy, sometimes when acronyms are used or you use one sentence and you think I need to find the next sentence, I'm totally lost because I have to break down these questions. So my mind is on like stuff on the field. And then when I read it and it ain't directly what it should say, I get confused, just to let y'all know. So sometimes y'all got to help me. You got to hold my hand and say, listen, TD, this is what I'm saying. I said this earlier, but this is what I'm trying to ask you to help me out. Because I can't do all of it. I can't break down stuff and then go into chat and go up and then know what you meant or know what you was trying to say. Martin Castillo says Ibuka, McMillan, or Franklin, TD. I'm going with Franklin over Ibuka with Chris Godwin playing today. Now, I like Ibuka, but he's only upside play. Like, he needs big plays. I don't know if he's going to get the volume anymore. So, I like Franklin going against the Washington Commanders. I think this could be a high-scoring game between the Washington Commanders and the Denver Broncos. So, I'm going to go with Franklin over Ibuka. I'm making that tough decision. If it was 2 weeks ago, it would be Ibuka. Even with Godwin playing, it would be Ibuka. But now, we have to make sharp decisions because it's the last of the third quadrant, going in the fourth quadrant, and we have to... We got to rule out tomatoes much as we can. Ty Cum says running backs and tight ends are good for bad weathers. Yes. You killed it, Ty Cum. Pause. Ty Cum again. You killed it, bruh. I agree with you. Running backs and tight ends because the tight end is the closest, usually going to be the closest to the quarterback, and you can't double team tight ends. You cannot double them. If you double them, it puts your defense integrity at play. So yes, I agree 100% with that. John says subscribe, just did. Appreciate that, John. This is cutting edge content. You're not gonna get this anywhere. I'm the only one that got this type of personality to do fantasy football. I ain't saying I got the best personality, and guess what? I'm not acting. Ask my friends. I do this every damn day. This is how I act my whole life. I'm not sitting over here, oh, let me put on this, let me put on my jury and let me act like this. No, this is TD. You getting the authentic, original fantasy football content, and it's cutting edge because why? I played the game. Did I play at a professional level? No. But my mind was very brilliant watching the game and playing the game the years that I watched it. And I got a little nice sauce, and everybody around me knows that, right? They know, like, hey, call TD. He'll tell you, TD, who was the left tackle in 1995 for this team? TD, who's the wide receiver for this team? Like, I know that shit. That's just what I do. So I appreciate everybody being here. You at the right channel, bruh. Ty come against is Ibuka all day. Yeah, man, I can't say that. I think Troy Franklin can have a boom game. I get it. Ibuka is a star, but right now we have to make these tough decisions. And I'm gonna go with Franklin today. And I'll go down with the ship if I'm wrong. Ty come again says, let's get this that Christmas bag, boys and girls. I don't know what that means, bruh. Mike says, you like Sutton versus Washington? Yes, but he's just safe. He's just a safe wide receiver, bruh. He don't have the upside. I'm an upside man. I like boom. I love boom wide receivers. Todd come again says Saints D. They all right. They all right. I want something a little bit more consistent, but they all right. Horace says, what do you think about starting Shamir DK over Ibuka? I think that's too much. I won't go that far. DK is too far of a tear down to put him over Ibuka. Louise says Michael Wilson or Genty for PPR. Let's go with Genty because he's going to get at least 25 touches today. Let's go with Genty over Michael Wilson. But Michael Wilson is not chopped liver today, and Michael Wilson is a sneaky play today. Ty come against is Houston D super chalky. Yes, they are the #1 defense in the league. Yes, Houston defense is like that. Wave Runner says Gaddison or Jaden Higgins for the flex. I do too. Wave Runner says I like both rookies upside. Yes. I'm gonna go with. I hate banking on a rookie wide receiver and trying to cheer for that. I can see getting to Gaddison and knowing how Gaddison flow in this offense. I'm gonna say Gaddison over Jaden Higgins. I'm saying Gaddison over Jaden Higgins. Mike Shamart says, gee, I have the Pittsburgh D, but should I pick up San Francisco or Tampa Bay? I would probably pick up San Francisco in this snow game. Shaq Graham says, Gainwell, Judy, or Scary Terry? I'm going with Scary Terry over Judy and Gainwell. I'm going with Scary Terry over Judy and Gainwell. I like Gainwell today, but remember, he's splitting with Jalen Warren. Scary Terry about to eat today with Marcus Mariota and Debo. They're going to eat today. I like Marcus Mariota as a sleeper. Todd come again says, McCaffrey is expensive, though, but if given 55 plus, but he's super chalky, so you moving with the crowd. No, I just like McCaffrey because he's McCaffrey. Listen, bruh. And I can tell you new to the channel. Let me tell you something what I did with CMC. Don't you know I faded CMC probably ever since he left Carolina? I didn't draft him. And I won championships because I had Lamar. I had other guys. And CMC was eating, but I didn't want him. This is the first year that I drafted CMC. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Hey, Brock Purdy didn't call me and say, listen, man, CMC going to be healthy this year. Nobody called me and told me that. I wanted CMC because I'm like, damn, he's a value this year. I don't care if he get hurt. I can't draft a player that's injury-prone #1 overall, but I can draft him at the 110 or 111. So I'm not chalky. Bro, that's like going to Gucci store and saying, is this cheap? That's totally off. You don't go to the Gucci store and talk about this is cheap stuff. You don't come to Fantasy GoodeSports and talk chalky. Ain't no chalky here, bro. It's true cutting-edge content over here. Sport Dog says, my kicker plays in Tennessee. Okay. If my computer had went dead, I could tell you. Let me see. It's 9 miles per hour wind, and it's a 47% chance of rain. I would say I wouldn't start the kicker there, but if you want to, bro, you go ahead. I wouldn't start the kicker for the Tennessee game. What's up, Jose? Ty come again says get one top running back and top wide receiver. The rest scrubs. Then hopefully get the D right in the mid to low QB. Little cutting edge there. I like kind of what you're saying. It's not always to skin a cat, but I like that. I believe try to get you 2 top RBs. That way you got that. When people see them 2 RBs, they're like, damn, man, he got studs. He got Jonathan Taylor and CMC. You don't want to play against that type of team. Ty come again says don't need nothing from the Jets. Ty come again says I'm not asking, I'm offering. Okay. I don't know what that means, bro. I'm getting confused. I don't know what I have no clue. Mike says Ric Flair is with the Panthers today. Laugh out. 49ers need help. Woo! Yeah, hey, Ric Flair, man, is one of my favorite wrestlers, the way he performed. Ball Out says pitch Theo Johnson at tight end. I guess I go with Theo Johnson with Jackson Dart. They got a great chemistry together. Ertz, Taysom Hill, Parkinson, Mo Taylor are available. Yeah, I probably would go with Theo Johnson over Ertz. I like Ertz when Jaden Daniels is playing, but not necessarily with Marcus. But Marcus will be okay. I would go with Theo Johnson. I would go with Theo Johnson over Pitts. That's it. Over Taylor, too. Appreciate you, Ty, come again. Appreciate you being here, bro. Yes, sir. Ballat says awesome content. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Sean Bonds. That's my homie. Hey, that's my bro right there, man. He supports me religiously. I will never forget that, man. I don't forget shit. I'm like an elephant. I watch people. That's why I'm loyal. I'm big time loyal. Let me tell you something before I get to this question. And I want to tell this to all the guys because I'm older than most of you. That's why I let y'all call me Unc. First, when y'all was calling me Unc, I'm like, damn, TD, you getting old, bro. You are the Unc. You got the gray hair now. Y'all didn't saw me before I got gray to when I'm gray. But let me tell you something. As a man, the only thing that you can portray in this world, listen, they can take all your money. The government can go in your account and take all your shit. They can send your ass to war. They can treat you unfairly. They can put you in the back. They can take a right to freedom of speech. But what they cannot take is your integrity and your loyaltiness. And as a man, what you bring to the world in front of other men is being loyal. I'm telling you. That's why I'm big on haters. I don't play that disloyal shit. I don't play them games. Maybe I take life too serious, but I got shit. I got something to prove while I'm here, right? I got something to prove. I got to be remembered forever. I said what I said. The people that's going to be around me going to remember me forever. It may be good, it may be bad, but it ain't going to be for me being disloyal. Come on now. So I'm going to go to my homie, Sean Bonds. He says 2 rest of the season, bruh. Hubbard, Mechie, Tez, or Pearsall. Rest of the season. Let's go with Mechie. And Pearsall. I like that you got Hubbard stash because anything can happen to Rico, bro. If something happens to Rico, Hubbard can come back in that role and be a league winner for you in the playoffs. So I don't want you to disrespect Hubbard and just say, okay, I'm done with him. Try to save him too, man. But I want to talk about Pearsall and Mechie because I believe these guys could be league winners. Mechie hasn't did anything mostly his career because of he beat cancer. But the more time you come off of it, the better you get. Same thing happened with Connor. Connor, when he first came off cancer, he was a backup for years. When he finally got going that 3rd year, when Le'Veon Bell was let go, Connor started eating and he looked like Connor from Pittsburgh, the college. So I believe that Mechie, he's been 3 years off of this cancer. I think he's going to get better, and I think he could be a 4th quadrant league winner. And I think Pearsall is a great underneath guy. They just want to work him back in there easy. They got to get Brock Purdy going again. Brock Purdy was hyper targeting Pearsall early in the season. So I like having Mechie and Pearsall, and I want to have Hubbard stashed too. If you can't do both, I will. Your prioritization should be Mechie, Pearsall, or Hubbard. Jose says May or Stafford. I'm going with May over Stafford. Antonio Mills says I'm in a 12-man. And I built up my team through trades. I got JSN, Chase, Pittman, and Pickens level out. I'm killing it. Yes, you are, bruh. Yes, you are. You are a better trader than me. I don't trade. I rarely trade. If the trade comes, it's got to be something that I'm really looking for, or a player that I want. I think I'm great with picking my players. And you can ask all my friends. I don't do no damn trading. They would tell you. My one homeboy that I will do a trade with, he always say, listen, man, I got something for you, man. He know I'm a tough SOB when it comes to try to get a trade with me. I don't like trading, but bro, you killed it with building that team. JSN and Chase and Pickens. You killed it, bro. You killed it. J Mac, he said, you scared about the Olave back injury? Should I bench him? No, I'm not scared. If he's active, you got to treat him as he's healthy. He's a target machine. Does he have any upside with Tyler Show? Probably not. But he has a target. He's probably going to get a lot of targets, at least 10 targets today. At least 10 targets. J. Lee Buck says, you got sound this week. Hey, bro, hey, it happens. You know how long I've been doing this and I had to figure it out? From ground zero, this shit was built out the mud. I didn't go pay nobody to give me no boost. I had never did, bruh. When I started doing, y'all gonna think I'm being funny right here. I'm giving y'all insight to my private life right here now. Guys, when I went those 12 years without working, I didn't have no damn phone. I had an Obama phone. I had a food stamp phone for about 5 years. I didn't know nothing about no YouTube. Now I was technically savvy. I knew about, I was like in my late 20s, early 30s, so I knew about certain shit. But I ain't know nothing about no YouTube. I used to hear people talk about YouTube. I thought that was just a video, a platform where you go on and learn how to do something in your yard or learn how to put this together. Didn't know anything about nothing. I got with my ex. She saw my phone was old and shit. She went and bought me an iPhone. First, she didn't want to get me an iPhone, but I was like, nah, man. What about that iPhone right there? Well, this $1,200. I want the iPhone. And I got that iPhone. Shit, I started streaming on it. And I started figuring it out. I got me a computer. I had to figure this shit out, man. And I'm still figuring it out. I didn't move into a new situation. And so that's why the sound, all this crazy shit is happening. New stuff. When people call, a lot of people don't do lives on their phone. When people call you, bro, it'll fuck up the sound. Excuse my language. Forgive me. It'll mess up the sound on your phone. And so I didn't know that. So I'm like, oh, I'm exit out of that. And then I get to talking and I finally look down. Y'all don't got no sound. So I apologize. It is on me, bro. But yes, I got sound this week. Let's give a hand clap for me. I'm getting a little bit better, man. Be patient with me. Big Growing Stuff says pick 2. Judkins, Michael Wilson, Marks, Keenan Allen. Also Browns D versus San Francisco possible snow game, or Texas D versus the Indianapolis Colts. So I'm going to say Judkins. I'm going to go with Judkins and Woody Marks. I'm going with Judkins and Woody Marks. Let me tell y'all something, guys, right now. I'm nervous about sitting Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson might go out there and outperform Marvin Harrison Jr. I just want y'all to know that now. I'm not telling you that I'm going back on what I've been saying. I'm not. But I just want to let y'all know things are more than just one sentence. Michael Wilson is probably, the way he's been playing, he's going to get some snaps. So if you want to make that decision, that's okay. But I'm not going to tell y'all to put him over like guys like Judkins or Marvin Harrison Jr. I cannot do that today. But I just want you to know, Michael Wilson is not chopped liver. Don't think that he just know, because I ain't told anybody to play him over Judkins that he ain't going to be good today. That doesn't mean that. What I'm trying to say, I'm not sitting Judkins. So I'm going to go with Judkins and Woody Marks. And he says also Browns D. Yes, I'm going with Browns D against the San Francisco 49ers over the Texans D. But you can go with the Texans D, and that's the #1 defense, so there's nothing wrong with playing the #1 defense in the NFL. Anthony Williams says, what up, bro? I second that motion. I don't trade. I trust my process. Me too, Anthony. I didn't think a lot of people do that. I agree. I don't trade like that. I don't want nobody having. I don't listen. I don't share my girl. I don't share my kid. I don't share my underwear. But I share food. I share a little bit of money. Right? If you need somebody need help, I share that. But I don't share my fantasy players either. Pause. I don't. I'm now. You ain't taking my players. I know what I got. I know who I picked. That's why I didn't let J-Mo go. What's up, Ron? Will? South in the building. What's up, bruh? He says, "What up, man? You think Jacobs still hurt? I have Wilson, but I may have to drop." Yeah, Josh Jacobs is just a little bit hurt. He'll be okay. Just gotta give him a little bit of time. But no, Emmanuel Wilson, you can drop him. While Jacobs is healthy, Emmanuel Wilson is not gonna get no goal line touches. Yes, sir, Anthony Williams. Yes, sir, bruh. Sports I said TD 100 using Warren as one of my RBs. I also have Tootin using Marks and Vidal in my flex spots. I could use a wide receiver in one flex, Shakir or Pierce. I would go with Shakir because Pierce is playing against the Houston Texans, which is a great pass defense. So I would go with Shakir, or do I stay with Warren? Okay, I get what you're saying. So I would play Warren over Shakir and Pierce. I get it for the running back. You got a good team, bro. I know your team. So I think you like to do that. You like to be perfect, and I don't never say anything because who don't? I like to do the same thing. But bro, your team be so good. You like TD, and I'm not. I don't really know your team, but I know I've been hearing about your team for the last 16 weeks. Not 16, but let's say 14 weeks. So I know you got a killer team, and you will concentrate on one position just to make sure you get the right player. And your team gonna blow the other team out because you got Jamar Chase, you got Lamar Jackson, you got Jonathan Taylor. So I don't think you starting Warren over Shakir and Pierce is gonna hurt your team. So I would start Warren, and just to be safe, you don't need to get cutting edge right here. You just need to make sure you get points because the rest of your players are gonna ball out. Anthony says, what you think about Darren Waller versus Tyler Warren? You going with Tyler Warren all day, bro. We're not gonna. That's what I would do. I'm not gonna go to Darren Waller just to get what he did when he was healthy and set my stud like Tyler Warren. This might be a Tyler Warren game, even though he's had a stomach bug. So I would probably stick with Tyler Warren. J Max says Juggins been scaring me 2 TDs last week and only 13 points. I know the schedule there, but he's playing like dog water. No, J Max. We're not gonna do that. Let me tell you the difference. I get it. Every game, look at Jonathan Taylor, look at Derrick Henry, look at Barry Sanders. Every game is not meant for you to have 130 yards. Every game is not meant for you to have 5 yards per carry. Some games is about getting the tough yardage and scoring when I need to. Some stuff is going to be grimy and gritty. And that's what he's been going through. That team has not been flowing. Shadur only started 1 week. Let's let Shadur keep starting and see what Junkins going to do. If Dylan Gabriel plays last week, Junkins don't even get those touchdowns. So that's what I'm saying. I get it. Just because a guy don't score a lot of points, man, doesn't mean he's playing shitty. I'm going to tell y'all something about me. I can watch a dude complete 1 pass out of 20 attempts and tell you that he's played a great game. Y'all might not be able to. You just looking for the results. But I can tell you like, no, man, that dude run the wrong route. No, they didn't block here. The coaches was calling terrible plays. If you don't see that, then you won't know about Daniel Jones. You won't know about Sam Darnold. You won't know about Baker Mayfield. You would say they suck, and you'll be stuck on that. You have to be able to read between the tea leaves sometimes. Junkins is playing really well, man. I'm proud of Junkins. Like I wasn't a high-end guy on Junkins, but the way he's been playing, I think he's had a great rookie season. Now I'm not gonna respond to that. I'm not gonna respond to that. Let's see. Anthony Wilson, what you think about Darren? Okay, we did that one already. Okay, Mike says, "G, you like Arizona defense or Tampa Bay?" I'll probably go with Tampa Bay before I go with Arizona defense. Ron says Gaddison or Strange this week. I'm going with Gaddison. He has the most upside. Thank you, Big Will. Thank you. Rolando says, tell me if I'm wrong. if I'm wrong, has Broncos and Raiders played before? Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know, bro. I don't understand. South says, would you play Troy Franklin or Devin Neal? I would play Troy Franklin over Devin Neal. I would play Troy Franklin over Devin Neal. Guys, you see how these guys hate? Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I'm okay. This is what I would say, and I shouldn't respond. I'm sorry, Big Will. I'm sorry, guys, but I gotta respond a little bit. If you imagine calling and hearing Mike Tyson talk on the phone, what would you think about him? Would you think he's soft? Would you think he's fruity? That's what I want to let whoever that guy. Okay, John. Would you think Mike Tyson fruity? So neither here. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna keep the content short and precise. So guys, thank y'all for tuning in to Fantasy Good Sports. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. This is cutting edge content. This is cutting edge content. All right, guys. Well, let me get ready to set my lineups. Let me get ready for my fantasy week. And y'all be safe. See y'all later. Peace.